ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran, and yes, welcome back to another lovely wee episode of Upcoming RPG. It's been a while since the last episode, but while I've been away, I have been gathering up some neat looking RPGs to explore. One of the RPGs on that list is something that fans of the Elder Scrolls franchise might potentially be interested in, that game being Isles of Adalar. The game is being developed by Peakway Software, a small development studio based in North Carolina. Not too sure how big this team is, but what they did say on their Indiegogo page is that the studio is being run by Kevin Nelson, who has worked on games such as Fallen Earth, Savage Skies, and Dinotopia. I've actually played a wee bit of Fallen Earth. It was alright. It was like a post-apocalyptic thing. The reason why I've been so drawn into this game is because of how much it reminds me of the older Elder Scrolls games like Morrowind and Oblivion. Actually, just looking at it again here, it definitely looks like a modern take on Morrowind, but you know, you get my point. This game just has that style that tickles the itch so many Elder Scrolls fans have, and that just hasn't been satisfied by many games in recent years. Elder Scrolls Online, like if you enjoy MMOs, you'll enjoy that game. Elder Scrolls 6 is about 10 years down the line as well, but you know, don't you worry, we have Isles of Adalar here to help you. But without further ado, let's dive right in, starting with the story. I have no fucking clue what the story is, which is weird to say, because I just began the story segment. Well, actually, to be fair, I'm kind of lying a wee bit. I do know a tiny bit, but the story is something that the developers have not been advertising for this game whatsoever, which I find really fucking strange. Like, if you're trying to advertise and get a fantasy RPG funded and developed, one major part you should be advertising is the world and the story of the game. Because you can talk to me all day about the systems, the mechanics, and everything else about it in your game, but if the world isn't interesting, then I'm simply not interested, you know. Nonetheless, though, I do have a few story details to talk about. You play as a character on their way to a place called Sarazabur, if that's what you call it, before your ship crashes ashore. Later on, you awake in a cave surrounded by fellow stranded passengers. And then, well, that's where my knowledge sort of goes down in the drain, because I have no idea what happens after that. I know you cut about in a cave for a wee bit, yeah. It seems like the goal of this game is to make your way to this place called Sarazabur, which apparently is a city. But yeah, that's, like, we don't know anything about the story. There is, like, even with the races or anything, I don't know anything about this world, and I have looked. Like, trust me, I have been on their Indiegogo page, been on their Steam, been on the game's website. I've not even found any sort of information about this game's story. The reason why I know about the ship and the Sarazabur and all that is because that was in the demo, which you can download right now if you want to. So go over to Steam, download the demo, you can play it. Hopefully closer to when the game actually comes out, they release any information on the story in the world, but since they are big on talking about the gameplay of Isles of Adalar, let's jump right into that, because that's where all the information is at in this game. Isles of Adalar is an open-world fantasy RPG that utilises both first and third-person perspectives. Now, what sets this game apart from the likes of Elder Scrolls is the fact that this game can be played with a few wee friends, as it also contains co-op. With up to 4 friends, you can go around the world, explore, do quests, fight shit, and just, in general, have a good time. Although with every player that joins your game, the higher the difficulty gets with each enemy, meaning that just because you have 3 other buddies by your side during a boss fight doesn't mean that the fight is going to get any easier. With this game being a classic RPG, choice and consequences are core to the experience, and the way you make these choices most of the time is through dialogue with NPCs. Now, Adalar has a dialogue system very similar to that of the BGS games, more so the older ones rather than the recent, as this game features a locked-in dialogue box with NPCs with voiced responses. Now, I say voiced responses, like responses being the key word in there, because not all the dialogue will be voiced. Apparently NPCs will only say like a line of the dialogue, or like their dialogue will sum up what they're actually saying on screen. Instead of speech skill checks like in other games, Adalar introduces personality traits players can use to unlock unique options. An example being charm, which can be used to flatter an NPC. Again, since Isles of Adalar aims to be a classic RPG, expect to see the normal RPG elements sprinkled through the game. Players can choose a class at the start of the game, such as Knight, which I'm assuming assigns points to the areas is most suited to that of like a knight's playstyle. I gave you an example of the traits just there, but traits can also be assigned at the start of the game as well. Traits such as perception, debate, intimidation, and lore master. Lore master seems like it would be like a really useful one actually. Reminding people is like, hey, by the way, you should probably not do this because remember back 50 years ago when there was a great war and the country that, you know, started that war is basically doing the things you did right now. It's like, I can imagine the character being a wee bit like that. The inventory menus in Adalar seem simple enough, but what caught my eye was the reputation bar between spells and journal. This definitely hints at your character having the ability to develop both positive and negative relationships with either specific factions or towns. Hopefully the reputation system in the game functions just like in Fallout New Vegas, because I just find those kind of things really immersive. Like, that's what immerses me into a world, is where I can actually develop relationships with characters, with factions, and if I fuck over a faction, I want that faction to hate me as much as I hate them. Combat in the game is made up of both traditional medieval style fighting and magic. Players can use weapons such as swords and axes as well as bows. Now magic is where your eyes should be centered on, because watching the combat play out reminded me so much of Oblivion, I'm not kidding. When in combat, players can use a variety of spells by either using staffs or by your own hands. I compare it to Oblivion because you aren't just walking about with like active fire hands on you like in Skyrim. You can actually hotkey your spells in the number keys, so even if you're hacking away at the enemy with a sword and you need a quick heal up, you can, you know, hotkey the healing spell, jump away for a wee second, heal yourself up, pop back into the battle. Players can also obtain companions in the game that can help you out in combat and also help carry items, meaning they can either be your bodyguard or a mule, or both. Crafting is also in the game, with players needing to gather materials in order to craft items. It appears you can craft a large deal for yourself, ranging from claymore swords to leather greaves. So a massive part of this game, which the developers have advertised primarily for the title, is the fact that this game was made from the ground up with modding in mind. So much so that in the game's description on Steam they call Adalar 1 part RPG and 1 part RPG Maker. So if you actually hop onto the Steam page and on the Indiegogo page and wherever else you fucking see this game, this is the most talked about section, is the modding part of the game. You can tell they do have a passion for it, which I respect. Players in Adalar can essentially develop their own RPGs using the game's systems and integrated level editor to accomplish this. I actually applaud the devs for developing this game with modding in mind, because many developers never fucking do this, resulting in what Kingdom Come Deliverance has done. Develop mod tools after the game is well and done and released in 2 years after the release, when everyone is just gone, they've moved on, that's it. So this means like when the game comes out, players will be like playing through the game, they'll be like, yes, this world is cool, let's make my own. And they'll jump into the level editor, have a wee mess about with it, and yeah, people love that shit. That's why like the Far Cry games have been quite good as well, because the multiplayer maps and that, people are fucking loving the level editor in that game. People just love level editors in general, so having that in an RPG, fantastic. Fucking sold. To be honest, when this game comes out, I can definitely see it having its own little niche modding community on the Steam Workshop. Maybe it'll be one of those cases where someone tells you to buy a game for the sole reason of playing mods on it. Like the game's a base and then you just hop into it and you're like, hey, you're not playing the story, you don't care about the story. Do you know what you care about? Mods. Some man made his own little single player campaign with the co-op in mind, and you can jump right into that and play that instead. There you are, Isles of Adalar. Isles of Adalar is aiming to be released in July this year on PC with no word of a console version. So that's me for this video. What do you guys think of Isles of Adalar? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Special thanks to my lovely wee patrons, KG, Proxy1, Devil, and TG Monster for your continued support over on Patreon. Thank you guys so much, do really appreciate it. But yeah, Isles of Adalar, what do I think of it personally? Well, I'm looking forward to it, but I want to learn more about the story, I want to learn more about the world. You can't, like, I get you're trying to push the whole level editor thing, I get that's where your passion lies. If you're only advertising one half of the game primarily right now, I know you released a demo for Isles of Adalar, kind of teasing at the story and all that, showing us what it can be like. I want to learn more. I want to learn more about the world. I know the world is called Adalar. What else? There's a city or a town or something called Cerberus. Or Semibar or something like that. I don't know. Build up the backstory of this world. Tell me more about the story. I want to learn about this stuff because that's what draws me into fantasy worlds, believe it or not. But yeah, that's me for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall be seeing y'all next time. See y'all later.